Time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson, only on 610 CHTM.
Hello and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Jaret Schneider, and joining me today is Mayor Tim Johnston. Good morning, Mayor Johnston.
Good morning.
So before we get into any of the questions, I'll give you a chance to run things down from the past week.
Well, just a few quick updates. It's been a fairly busy week over the last period, and a couple things to remind people. A few announcements were made. Last Thursday, we did the downtown strategy announcement on Thursday afternoon. I want to extend appreciation to all those organizations that showed up. The strategy really is about working with community groups to address the behavioral issues in the downtown. And we've made a couple key changes this year. I think most people are aware of those, but obviously we are delivering our own bylaw enforcement program this year, as well as the ambassador program is back, and a number of partnerships with organizations, including MLCC, CMHA, TNRC, and a variety of others are in place, and look forward to feedback from the public on the impact of the downtown strategy and what they're seeing. Council is always open to listening in terms of how we can improve the community overall. On Friday, we had a tremendous announcement from the province of Manitoba. Minister Rondeau, Minister Ashton were in the community Friday morning, and at AFM made the announcement that the province is providing funding for a detox facility in Thompson and for northern Manitoba. It will be a 6-bed facility, including a ongoing operating budget that will be provided by the province. So I expressed our appreciation. This was one of the real priority areas that council had set to deal with the addictions issues that we have in Thompson. As I indicated that morning, it is not the only answer, but it is a part of a toolbox to address the issue of addictions, and council will continue to remain committed to looking at what are those other options that we can provide. But as I really believe this is one of the key factors in terms of providing the hope and the opportunity for individuals that do want to address addictions, is to have that detox facility. So I was very pleased with that. Yesterday afternoon, I attended the opening of the Hope Forum here in Thompson that addresses issues such as suicide, bullying, and I want to express appreciation to the more than 20 organizations, 50 volunteers on the committee that came together to host these events on an ongoing basis in our community for youth, not just from Thompson, but from throughout the north. And I was very pleased to be able to extend greetings and express our appreciation for the work that is being done with youth in northern Manitoba. And then this morning, I was just came from Wapanuck School, where I attended the Cree Language Festival, and again, a tremendous celebration of the Cree language and our Aboriginal population in Thompson, and the kids performed a number of songs, and it was a real good event to be a part of. I think it's a real positive things are happening at Wapanuck School. I want to thank the teaching staff, the administration, school district, Mr. Lake. Wapanuck really is a real model for addressing and ensuring that the Cree language and the Cree culture is celebrated, and that individuals coming into our community can be educated in a manner and in a facility that respects and provides them opportunities to celebrate who they are.
204-677-8181. We have Mayor Tim Johnston taking your calls today. 204-677-8181. Now, you mentioned already that you were a part of an announcement on Friday in Thompson with MLA Steve Ashton and Minister of Healthy Living Jim Rondeau. So maybe just enlighten us on what that was. Maybe go into some detail about some of the things that they had talked about and some of the things that are going to be going on with that now moving forward.
Well, I think that one of the real key factors was that we've been pushing hard for a detox facility in northern Manitoba. And I want to thank two individuals in addition to those that I've named. One is John Donovan from the AFM, who I think has just done a tremendous job in terms of putting together a model that hopefully will be able to really see a difference. And I know there's been a lot of work that he's done in terms of getting this to be a reality. And the other one is Oswald Saw, who has chaired the detox facility committee for the last couple of years. Minister Ashton, Minister Rondeau spoke to the need not just on a local basis but a regional basis, and they did indicate that in a difficult time in terms of the provincial government finding money, that the facility in Thompson was rated a high priority and that they did find the operating dollars, so I appreciate that. And as I said, it will mean that 6 beds will be moved from treatment to detox, and additional staff will be put into place to deal with detox. So it's a step in the right direction. It may not have been everything we wanted in terms of a standalone new facility, but I certainly believe it is a step forward, and I appreciate the effort of the province. And I think now it's up to the city, the province, and all the related agencies led by AFM to make sure that we can show that the detox can make a difference for us in northern Manitoba.
204-677-8181. Now, why is it a relief now to finally have that? I mean, it is only, as you mentioned, 6 beds, but how is it a relief now that it has been in the works for such a while?
Well, it has been in the works for a long time as one of those priority items to address the addictions issues that we face in the community, and a lot of it had to do with, I think, the city of Thompson, the community of Thompson is more appropriate, clearly indicating the magnitude of the issue that we have in our community. And I appreciate the province. It took a lot of discussions and a lot of, I think, proving that there was that need, and they finally they recognized that, and I appreciate that, and we'll move forward now.
204-677-8181. Now, we have a call from an ATV and snowmobile owner, and they're wondering, and he's still mad actually about the ATVs ruining property, and he's wondering what is Mayor and the city going to do about that.
Well, I can tell you that we had this discussion at the last public safety meeting where the RCMP were present, and we've certainly asked them to take a look and enforce the bylaws or the laws that we have in place. And but really, one of the difficulties is that in terms of finding or apprehending those individuals that are making the causing the damage, it's extremely difficult, I'll be honest with you. We hope that people will abide by the rules, especially ATV drivers, because they can do a fair bit of damage to grass and areas. I understand that we live in an environment where people want to use their snowmobiles or ATVs, and the city council a few years ago understood that and passed some changes to enable crossing and the use of those vehicles in the community. In doing that, our expectation is that people are going to act responsibly when they're operating those vehicles. This issue has been raised over the last little while. Again, we've addressed that at the public safety. I would hate that we would have to go back and alter what we've done to try and make things more accessible. And one of the things we have to do is ask for the responsibility of those that are operating. And that includes not just individuals driving, but maybe whether they have youth in their household driving their machines or not. There is a responsibility of operators or those that own the vehicles to make sure whoever is operating is abiding by the bylaws. We're going to try and enforce the laws wherever we can. I'd encourage people where they are seeing infractions to contact the RCMP immediately, but as I said, it is extremely difficult to apprehend people that are doing that. We need to work together as a community.
204-677-8181. Now we have another call coming in, and it says, last week, City Manager Gary Sabatelli discussed proper care in regards to residential garbage and recycle bins, and the problem that come with the garbage getting spread around from overloading them. Now, my question is about the dumpsters in the city. I live on Fox Bay, and the dumpsters are consistently overloaded, and the lids are open. The Ravens get into these, and the whole area, and it becomes littered with garbage. So, who's policing these dumpsters, and who can we contact to report them if they are causing a mess?
Well, obviously, if there's dumpsters that are over full, we would encourage property owners to try and address that themselves. Certainly, bylaw enforcement is available. Again, enforcement is one angle. I think working with people to try and address those issues, but litter is a big issue, and so we have people out regularly in terms of enforcement. And I would suggest that if people are seeing that as an issue, to contact the city and certainly contact our bylaw enforcement department to discuss that.
204-677-8181. Now, the Hope North Forum wraps up today with Kevin Lamoureux speaking. I know Rob Nash spoke yesterday as well, as performed with his band. So talk a little bit about that and what the Hope North Forum means to Thompson.
Well, I had a chance to visit briefly. I was very pleased to see the number of people in attendance, and certainly the representation from throughout the North. I think that's important. I think the message is that, everyone, no matter who they are, at times needs support, and they need hope. I always say hope and opportunity are two of the key factors that drive anyone. And I like the concept, and I really was proud and pleased to see the people in that room that are willing to support each other. And again, this is where I think it's a sense of community. And in that case, I think everyone has a role to play, whether it's behaviors that you're seeing regarding bullying, whether it's someone needing support in terms of contemplating suicide, those sorts of things. We need to ensure that the supports are provided. And let me tell you, there's so many good organizations doing good things. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond, it truly is about people helping and supporting each other. And I think that that's one of the things northern Manitoba has to start doing more of. We have to start supporting each other and being there, because I'll tell you what, it's been so easy to be negative. It's been so easy to be critical and things like that. That gets you nowhere. What gets you to places is when you support each other, when you help each other, and when you provide hope and opportunity for each other. And so I left that forum, and I was very pleased. I was so pleased to see the youth that have a commitment to doing that. And I think that sometimes, boy, I'll tell you, adults should take some lessons from our youth in terms of, again, I go back to what I saw today at Wapanak. I think sometimes we forget some of the simple rules that we should be living our lives by, and I think ensuring there's hope and opportunity for other people is everyone's responsibility, and supporting each other is a big part of what being a responsible member of a community is.
And that'll pretty much wrap up this week's show, but before we go, I'll give you the final minute to send things off for the week ahead.
Well, now that you got me all wrapped up, a couple quick things. The weather's here. It was a phenomenal long weekend. I'll tell you, if you looked at the weather across the country, you sure didn't want to be in Gander or even in Winnipeg with the snow and the rain. So we were phenomenal. That's great to get people out and about in the community. Paint Lake's open now. Encourage people to take advantage of that. Also, I can advise people that we're getting our parks and recreation areas up and functioning. I went by both Cliff Park and the Norplex Pool. Skate park's open. Whole bunch of kids, youth there. Tennis courts are open. Encourage people, get out, get active, get onto the streets, get out walking, pick up a little garbage if you can, but stop and say hi to your neighbor. Get out there and enjoy what Thompson has, because we are a great community.
And that will do it for City Beat this week. Make sure to tune in every Thursday at 11:30 for more insight into your government and a chance to ask Mayor Johnston more questions. I would just like to thank Mayor Johnston for coming in today, and to everyone else, enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
City Beat will be back next Thursday morning at 11:30 with more of the mayor's take on what's going on around Thompson. Only on Thompson's radio station, 610 CHTM.